Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining today's Retirement Genius Brainstorm webinar. I'm your host, Chris Orestis, the president of Retirement Genius, and it's my pleasure to talk today about gift-giving ideas to help loved ones put in place a safe and secure retirement. Retirement Genius is an information and resource platform to help people achieve a well-balanced retirement. We focus on financial planning, health and long-term care security, and lifestyle enrichment. It's our belief you need to bring these three components together to build a well-balanced retirement so that people can retire like a genius. What I want to talk about today is some gift-giving ideas, whether it's the holiday season, a loved one's birthday. That's a great time to show love and for those that you care the most for, but it can also be a struggle coming up with the right gifts to give loved ones every year around the holidays, birthday time, special occasions, what have you. And what are some meaningful gifts that you can give people, something that's more meaningful than the usual stuff, something that can help them secure their finances, help them live safely and independently at home, help them enrich their lives with health and entertainment, because everybody's goal is to live a fruitful, meaningful retirement. And a big part of that is staying at home with financial security, with physical security, and enrichment. You want to have that balance. And there are numerous things you can do for loved ones, those that you care for. So now that the gift-giving season is here for us, and whether it's the holidays or year-round, let's talk about some presents for senior-age loved ones that are going to have a bit more meaning than giving somebody a new tie or a bathrobe. Let's start with some gifts that can help provide more security for loved ones that are living at home. And a great place to start is where seniors in particular are particularly vulnerable, and that's identity protection. Seniors are often the targets of scammers. They're trying to get their personal information, their financial information. So helping them with identity theft protection and even cybersecurity protection for their computer, for their electronic devices, will help them from becoming the victims of fraud and stealing their identity, getting into their bank accounts, their credit cards. Identity theft protection, cybersecurity protection is a great place to start showing loved ones your love and your care, and understanding that they can be vulnerable all year long to these kind of scammers. Another way to provide security for loved ones at home is through home monitoring systems. There are some tremendous systems that you can easily plug and play at home to help monitor what's going on for inside the house and security for outside the house. And that security has a number of different forms. You can provide home monitoring systems that will, in general, just monitor their movements around the house and that they're safe and secure, that they haven't fallen, they haven't become injured, they're not incapacitated. You can also put in monitoring systems that will actually do health screenings and keep track of people's blood insulin levels, their heart rate, their respiration. And then there's a variety of home monitoring security systems that can be put in place to make sure people are living safely and securely in their homes, preventing any kind of outside intrusion that could occur. Because for those that might perpetrate that kind of an activity, they're looking for homes that appear vulnerable, residents, particularly seniors who are living at home alone and appear vulnerable. This is a way from any location to be able to help monitor your loved ones and provide them extra security. Another is gifts to keep them living healthily at home, not just secure and safe, but from a health perspective. A great thing to do for seniors is, and your loved ones, is prepared meals. There are so many great meal services out there that you could sign somebody up for so that they're getting regular deliveries of prepared meals if they're struggling. And for many seniors at home, this becomes difficult, and they end up cutting back on what they're eating because the work and effort that goes into preparing fresh meals with fresh ingredients can be too much for them. So a delivery service of prepared meals that are easily heated up or even consumed as is a great way to help make sure they're getting the nutrition that they should be getting, and enjoying still what they're eating with some really quality ingredients and recipes being delivered right to their door. There's also seniors who are still enjoying cooking, but getting out and getting around, going to the grocery store is difficult. Having the ingredients, whether it's fresh produce, fresh meats, dairy products, specialty items, being delivered on a regular basis, weekly, monthly, can be a real delight for those that are home and help them get the kind of quality ingredients that they should be getting, but it can be a challenge for them to get out and get on their own. Another way to help provide healthy living at home is hiring a physical trainer, somebody who can come into the home and work with them on exercise to help improve their strength, their balance, their stamina. You know, one of the biggest threats to health and longevity are people who become sedentary. They're not moving. Their muscles are atrophying. They may be gaining weight or losing weight. And with a physical trainer and there are specialists who know how to work specifically with seniors to get the right kind of, give them the right kind of guidance and a regular routine that they can work on to improve their ability to move around, maintain balance, preventing falls, which is so important, improving their strength, and adding some real quality years to their life just through the ability to extend their physical health. Another gift to help loved ones age in place is the potential of getting a geriatric assessment. If there's any question about somebody's health and ability to continue living at home independently, a independent assessment with a geriatric care manager could be a good solution. Oftentimes, families will disagree about what they're seeing with a loved one. Some may think that someone needs care. Others in the family think they don't. And either side of that equation could be wrong. It can create a lot of tension, disagreement. Well, a good way to get over that hump is to bring in a independent voice and expert to examine the loved one, their living situation, and see if they are getting to a point that they need care, and then making recommendations on what the right kind of care is, the right care providers could be. So a geriatric assessment could really help a family who's trying to come to terms with and understand, has the time arrived yet for long-term care? And if so, what do we do next? Another gift to help loved ones age in place is something called a true freedom plan. This is a really interesting opportunity for seniors to look at if they haven't bought long-term care insurance, or maybe they did, but they want to make sure they have some home care coverage. A true freedom plan is a prepaid home care coverage plan where you're going to be able to buy a certain amount of hours every week to provide home care by paying with a monthly fee that's charged to a credit card. And then when the time comes later in the future to have the need for home care services, you're then triggering your benefit level, which can come at different tiers. A lower tier versus a higher tier will cost less, a higher tier will cost more, and you'll get that many more hours of care from what you've purchased in advance through a simple billing to a credit card that can be paid every month up until the point that then when care is triggered and needed from that point going forward. Another really smart thing to do for loved ones who are spending more and more time at home is to take advantage of all of the technology that can be used to provide entertainment and convenience at home. And a great one is using Alexa systems, voice controlled hands-free systems, where you're able to talk to in essence, a computer that is giving you information, helping you set up lists, setting reminders, can be set up to turn on and off lights and set heat controls with pure voice control. These are very cost effective, easy to install, although I highly recommend getting somebody to install them. I wouldn't just send the systems to your loved one and expect them to get it set up. I would include getting them set up and showing them how to use the systems. But if you get those in place, boy, there's so much convenience, entertainment that's available through these systems, and they're really very, very low cost. It's almost science fiction, right? Remember watching Star Trek back in the day with voice. All you had to do was ask the computer for anything you wanted, and they would answer. Well, it's here now. You can put it in your home and it costs next to nothing. Another gift for entertainment and convenience at home is all of the streaming entertainment services that are out there. Signing loved ones up for and showing them how to use things like Netflix and HBO and Hulu, or music systems like Spotify. There's such a world of entertainment out there, an almost limitless library of movies, TV shows, documentaries, and music that's out there that again is relatively inexpensive for what it costs. Like, I think a Spotify membership is $10 a month, and you've got access to tens of millions of songs that are out there that I'm sure would bring tremendous entertainment and joy to loved ones that need to spend more time at home. And if they're not up for going out to the movies anymore, they've got an almost endless world of movies and entertainment right there that they can just watch at home on their TVs. And this would be a great way to add some entertainment and convenience for your loved ones that are living at home. Another convenience at home would be property maintenance. It can get harder and harder to maintain a property for a loved one that's still living at home independently. So hiring property maintenance to come in and do lawn mowing and raking, or maybe some general housekeeping around the house, a fix-it person to, we all know there's always something that has to get done. Well, having that on call and regularly showing up at a loved one's home for them, and they don't have to think about it, that is a huge convenience. And quite frankly, it's even a safety issue. Getting them from not climbing up a ladder or putting themselves in a position of trying to do outside work that could harm them is a smart move. Not only is it convenience, but it's a smart safety and health move as well. Some gifts to help with financial security. I am a huge proponent of everybody, once they hit the age of 50, should be joining AARP, and anybody that owns a vehicle should also have a AAA membership. These are very inexpensive on an annual basis to get a world of services, discounts, information coming in the forms of magazines, newsletters, websites. There is such a world of services, information, discounts that come from these two organizations for next to nothing, that if your loved one is not a member of one or both of these, I highly recommend that either you add them to your membership if you are, or you get them a membership to one or both of these organizations. Another gift to help with financial security would be to get a professional to help them, and that professional could possibly be even you, to help them with a Medicare and Social Security benefits review. So many people take for granted Medicare and Social Security eligibility, enrollment, how the program works. There are so many misconceptions about these programs. And if you get them wrong, you are potentially costing yourself thousands of dollars a year in missed opportunities, unnecessary additional costs. Getting these programs right, taking advantage of Medicare's annual open enrollment period and getting that right is critical, because at the end of the day, Medicare and Social Security are such important foundations and underpinnings of people's retirements. You don't want to take that for granted. You want to make sure that your loved one's benefits have been reviewed by a professional, and that they've gotten their, how they've configured their benefits correct, and what they're going to do going forward on an annual basis. Another opportunity for financial security is insurance protection. There are many insurance policies, life, long-term care, final expense, that can still be purchased into somebody's 60s, 70s. And if people are living with inadequate insurance protection, then taking a look at what they could qualify for, and possibly picking up the premium payments yourself, or a loved one picking up the premium payments for them to make sure they've got the insurance protection in place, is a smart move for them and a smart move for the loved ones. And don't forget, as a bonus, if somebody owns a life insurance policy and they're not going to keep it any longer, that can be sold off for cash through a life settlement. And that's a readily available way to put more income into a loved one's hands if they own a life insurance policy that they're no longer going to keep. And then for those loved ones who are out there traveling, I've got a couple of last ideas that I think are real solid that you should be taking advantage of. If you've got loved ones that are out there traveling, I would make sure that they are covered by a global rescue travel insurance program, to make sure that if anything happens to them when they're abroad, they can get health coverage they need while they're there. And if they need to be evac'd out and brought back to the United States, and you don't have the coverage for that, it can be a very expensive proposition to get somebody medically evac'd and back into the United States. But if you've got the insurance protection to cover these, you can let your loved ones travel knowing that they're protected and covered while they're out there. And so are you, as their loved one, who wouldn't have to bear the brunt of what might happen if something were to occur while they were traveling overseas. And then here's a great one that really hits to convenience for a loved one. If your loved ones are traveling and they don't have TSA clearance, you've got to make sure they've got their TSA clearance in place, so that they avoid things like having to take off their shoes, take out their laptop computer, and be in the long line of people who aren't TSA cleared. Get them on the TSA list. And once you do, I would take a real strong look at also putting them into Clear membership. Clear, you'll see it at a lot of airports. It's about $100 and something a year subscription. They take your fingerprints, and when you show up, you can skip right to the front of any line where there's a Clear program in place. There's a concierge who will walk you right to the front of the line, and you go right through, because you're TSA and you have Clear. That puts you right at the front of every single line, and you're immediately right through with no hassles whatsoever. And then, you know what? I'm going to throw in a last but not least. I would also make sure that they have any kind of that they're using frequent flyer numbers, and also that you work with them to sign them up for any kind of, Delta Sky Club or any of the private clubs. If they are in long layovers, delays, being able to go to one of these private areas where there's great food, conveniences, readily available internet access, convenient seating. You can get assistance from people who are working there if there's any problems. Having those travel memberships in place will really make a difference for a loved one who's still out there traveling, because time is precious and we want to make sure that their time is being well used and that they're getting to the front of the line and that they're being well cared for from the point they hit the airport until they get to their destination. So this is a great time of year. Gift giving season's upon us. I'm hoping everybody is looking forward to a great Christmas, a great New Year. And as the year carries on and people have birthdays, there's special occasions for loved ones, I hope you'll keep some of these ideas in mind to help people address their financial needs, their personal security, and helping them to enrich their lifestyle. Because particularly, as seniors are aging, you want to do all you can to make sure that they're safe, they're secure, they're enriched, they're living a happy, healthy retirement. And these are the kind of gifts that will continue to keep giving all year long. So thank you so much for joining today's gift giving guide to a safe and secure retirement webinar. I'm Chris Orestis with Retirement Genius. I want to thank you so much. You can give us a call at 866-602-5000. We'd love to send you a free copy of our Retirement Genius tip sheet on the gift giving guide. And we always encourage you to visit our websites. As advisors, go to advisors.retirementgenius.com. Our consumer website is retirementgenius.com. And check out our podcast, Retirement Genius, wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find the Retirement Genius podcast there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today's webinar. We look forward to staying in touch. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season. We wish you a happy, healthy gift-giving season all year long.